What the fuck is rape culture? I'm aware of the Wikipedia article, so don't bother redirecting me there. I read it. I'm aware of it. But to define our culture as rape because sexual violence is something that occurs, maybe a little frequently, is to say that we live in a culture of murder and a culture of robbery and exploitation because those things all occur a little frequently in our society. But are they things that we just accept and just like, oh no, they just occur, nothing to do about them, nothing we can do? No, we have laws in the books and ways to enforce them. Are they sometimes enforced in a shitty way? Of course they are. All crimes are. But it doesn't mean that we live in a culture that promotes the actual crime. It's more of just internal politics of those involved in the crime itself. I mean, to say we live in a culture that promotes rape, as in, oh, porno promotes rape. Porno doesn't promote rape any more than a shitty action film promotes murder. If you were to tell me that with a straight face, I would have to think that you would also tell me that Call of Duty is a fucking murder simulator. That is not the case. It boils down to this whole thing about victim blaming, a rampant case of victim blaming, and I'm not going to pretend that we don't live in a society where there aren't ignorant fucks that would do something as blatantly stupid as just blame the victim solely for a crime. Okay? I understand that occurs. I'm not sure if it occurs in a wide number to where you could say the society as a whole is a victim blaming and thus promoting rape. There's certain individuals in society that are, okay? But the thing about victim blaming is that I could be put on victim blaming just for advocating precautions. Same sort of precautions you would take to prevent robbery or getting killed or, I don't know, getting into a fucking accident. Self-clear. I am not in any way belittling rape. It is a horrendous crime that has physical and emotional repercussions. Some people suffer their whole life. Some people are tormented just by the image of the figure that was involved. I'm not in any way excusing the perpetrator. I'm not in any way, not even the slightest, hinting that the victim has even the smallest amount of blame. And with that said, an attractive passed out woman with her legs spread is no more an invitation of rape than a house with its front door wide open with no one home is an invitation of robbery. But are there people that are going to exploit that? Of course they are. Why? We fucking live in a society where people exploit people for the smallest, dumbest, trivial things. We live in a society where people operate with no empathy or a complete lack of a moral compass of any type. We live in a culture where people will gun down another fucker just for his shoes or his jacket or because he cut him off in traffic. So, we don't live in a perfect world. You give someone an opportunity to take something, they will take it. Am I saying be overly paranoid and act like everyone's a fucker about to do something wrong to you? No. That's gonna hurt you more than it is anyone else. But be aware, be careful. You know, there's precautions you could take. Am I advocating for women to dress or adhere to a dress code? Fuck no. Women should wear what the fuck they want to wear. But be safe about it. I mean, if you want to tell me, hey, I'm a woman, I can wear whatever I want to wear, fine. And you tell me that you're going to wear a thong, just a thong, walk down a dark, unlit street for, I don't know, an hour and see what happens. Don't be surprised if people come on to you, or you get some stalkers, or you get ogled. Is that in itself an instant rape scenario? No, but it does increase the chance. And me advising that should not make me as blaming the victim, because I'm trying to help here. You know, it's like advocating for locks on the door and being accused of blaming the victim when their house is robbed because they had no fucking locks. So let's take a scenario. I mean, precaution, be aware. What does this entail? This entails being aware of your appearance, your behavior, the perception of others as much as you can, and possibly even the intent. We can't read minds last time I checked, but you can sort of perceive, you can judge on on the perception and how they are when they come on to you, with the way they talk to you and their whole demeanor. But just be careful. And I said appearance. Appearance, it's not the sole heavy weighing variable, but it does play a factor. Let's not pretend that the beauty product industry was not created for the sole purpose of making someone more attractive. Why have that? Why was makeup invented? Why were those other types of style clothing invented? Is it to be promiscuous? Not necessarily, but is it to increase attraction? Yes. In our society, not just our society, in our world, why does another species, why does one gender of a species, one sex of a species try to attract another? It's basic biology in that part. It's not any different. It's just now we have items and ways to express beauty in just a wide range that other animals cannot fathom. Okay, but am I saying that appearance equals rape? That if you wear provocative clothing, it equals rape? If that was the case, strip clubs would be rape clubs. No, that is not the case. That is not the fucking case. What I'm saying here, though, with your appearance, with your behavior, the way you engage in certain behaviors, though innocent, third variable, perception, the way they're perceived. If they are perceived in a way that is promiscuous or inviting, you may expect more attention. You may expect someone to come on to you. Unfortunately, we can't control 100% how someone perceives us, so we have to be very careful about that. And lastly, intent. I mean, you can't read someone's mind, so I don't expect you to be like to know what someone's intent is. But at the same time, though, if you see someone that's stalking you with the hood like this and he's stalking you for a while, it's safe to assume that maybe he intends to do something bad. He's waiting for the opportunity. So get ready with a can of mace and try to stay with people. Try to get out of that situation. Does this make me victim blaming? Does it make me like some bastard who's just saying it's the victim's fault? Did I in any way advocate it's the victim's fault? The victim is to blame? No, I'm just saying be careful. Take precautions. Hypothetical scenario. Let's say Sally is a well-endowed girl. Nature's been kind to her. She goes to a party. She wears casual clothes. Actually, not even revealing casual clothes, but, you know, it reveals a little bit of cleavage, okay? She goes to a party because the way her body image and because how the body image is, you know, how men are biologically designed for the most part to be attracted to women. She gets ogled a little bit. She gets some looks, okay, but nothing to worry about. Nothing all too different than when you get in a dating scene. Now let's say Sally starts flashing them in. She's just flashing them. Her flashing them in is not much different than me taking out my wallet and flaunting out the money in front of everyone at the party. There's something, they both have a perceived value, and when you do that, you're telling someone, hey, it's right here, come and get it. Is that the intent that Sally had when she did that? No, maybe. I don't know. I don't know what her intent was, but perhaps not. I would like to assume that wasn't the case. However, how are others going to perceive that? How are others going to perceive that? Does that put her in the wrong? No. And she still has a chance, if something were bad to happen, to, I mean, if someone got the misinterpretation, she can clarify it and all that. She still has sober mind. But now let's say she starts drinking. She's taking shots, you know? Down a lot of beers, take a lot of shots. The guys are around her. She's the focus of all their attention. Okay, so now she's completely intoxicated to where if something bad were to happen, she would not be able to stop it. Does it put her in? Does it make her the blame if something were to happen? No, but was she very safe? Was she taking precautions? Was she acting recklessly that created an opportunity, made her vulnerable for a scenario? Yes, she did. Yes, she most fucking did. You might as well walk down a fucking fifth ward with I hate niggers on your chest. But me, advising, kind of like creating this hypothetical scenario and kind of advising precaution. Does that make me a fucking victim blamer? What the fuck? No, it does not. And I take offense when that shit happens. When I hear that shit, when I read it on fucking Reddit and other forums. It's like, and don't say it's because I have a penis, okay? Getting raped isn't sexually exclusive, okay? Actually, if you look at the stats, men get raped more than women. That is if you're including prison rape, which, that's still rape. So let's go ahead and include those figures, okay? And I understand there are situations where you have no control. We're trying to be aware, be more perceptive, isn't really gonna help you in a situation where if you're physically bound or emotionally bound, where you're restrained and you can't act because the perpetrator has you. Maybe in sex trafficking or a case where someone's too young or too naive to understand what's going on. Those situations, my heart goes out to them. I wish I could in some way step in and help them, pull them out of that situation and offer as much time of counseling as I can, or consoling to help them. Especially mending the emotional wounds. Okay? But maybe one day I will. Okay? Maybe one day I will be able to do that. But right now, I'm just a little pissed at these ignorant fucktards that like to throw that victim blaming label all too easily. Kind of reminds me of some feminists that like to throw that misogynist label all too easily. Look, just because someone gives you precautions about how to be safe doesn't mean they are blaming you.